right, tonight we're going to read some of 1 Kings 17. Our theme, everybody here knows it, we did one last night and we didn't record it, is now that we've gone through a lot of the end times stuff, and the first thing that used to strike me when reading end times stuff was fear of the unknown, fear of how we're going to survive. And so what we're reading now is snippets from here and there about how God has provided for people in the past. All right, 1 Kings 17. Now Elijah, who was from Tishbe in Gilead, the Tishbite, King James says, means from Tishbe in Gilead, told King Ahab, "As surely as the Lord, the God of Israel lives, the God I serve, there will be no dew or rain during the next few years until I give the word." All right, so it's going to get tough. Then the Lord said to Elijah, "Go to the east and hide by Cherith Brook." Cherith is kind of how it looks in King James. Not sure how you say it, but near where it enters the Jordan River. I know how to say Jordan, thank goodness. "Drink from the brook and eat what the ravens bring you, for I have commanded them to bring you food." All right, so here he's got a dirty bird that I don't, according to God's law, I don't believe he's allowed to eat a raven because it's a bird that eats meat itself. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if it's a clean animal or not, but anyway, the ravens, they're bringing him food to eat. So Elijah did as the Lord told him and camped beside Cherith Brook, east of the Jordan. The ravens brought him bread and meat each morning and evening, and he drank from the brook. After a while, the brook dried up, for there was no rainfall anywhere in the land. And so you think, well, what's going to happen next? God's got a plan again here. God's going to help some other people out while helping Elijah here. Then the Lord said to Elijah, "Go and live in the village of Zarephath, near the city of Sidon." Sidon, yeah, it's way to the north, I believe. "I have instructed a widow there to feed you." So he went to Zarephath. As he arrived at the gates of the village, he saw a widow gathering sticks, and he asked her, "Would you please bring me a little cup of water?" As she was going to get it, he called to her, "Bring me a bite of bread too." But she said, "I swear by the Lord your God." She must have, maybe she knew who he was. I don't know. "The Lord your God," not my God, your God. Does it say that in King James? "As the Lord thy God liveth." Yeah, that's what it says. "I swear by the Lord your God that I don't have a single piece of bread in the house, and I have only a handful of flour left in the jar and a little cooking oil in the bottom of the jug. I was just gathering a few sticks to cook this last meal, and then my son and I will die." But Elijah said to her, "Don't be afraid. Go ahead and do just what you've said, but make a little bread for me first. Then use what's left to prepare a meal for yourself and your son. For this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. There will always be flour and olive oil left in your containers until the time when the Lord sends rain and the crops grow again." So she did as Elijah said, and she and Elijah and her family continued to eat for many days. There was always enough flour and olive oil left in the containers, just as the Lord had promised through Elijah. Wow. So, for me, when you hear about all the tough times and you can't buy and sell and all of that, and you're like, dude, how am I gonna, especially now that I have a family of my own that I am responsible for, it's like, man, should I be stockpiling? And I'm not saying that's a bad idea, but really and truly, let's put our trust in the God that we say we believe in, and in His Word that we say we believe in, because here it is, right here, you know. And it's like, I don't know. Maybe we just maybe sometimes we wonder, oh, can God really do that? And it's yes, He can. And while I'm on that topic, or this topic, a book that all of us here are going to read at one time or another, because I bought it as like a book report book, because book reports have to be done around here. And unlike with the school I went to, the books were chosen for you. That's how it was done back then. You didn't get to choose your own book. Well, here they give you a little liberty and let you choose your own. And so we picked out, talking about trusting the Lord here, we picked out the story, the autobiography of George Mueller. And so if any of you want to know about trusting God for everything, George Mueller is a good example of that. Good example of that. So I don't know how I'm so glad, being this is the topic we have right now. I'm so glad that when Bea said she needed a book biography for a book report, and I like, dude, you know, we've been to the library here. There's not. I found some books in the library that are totally against God. It's really awful, awful stuff you can find in there. You find some good stuff too. But I wanted something that I feel was really worth reading. And so I got on good old Amazon and one that was reasonably priced, and that could be here in one day, because she had to have it so fast. Me and my wife both, neither one of us could believe that they already want you to have a book ready for a book report, and on like the second day of school. It's insane. But anyway, so it was one day shipping, and it was not that expensive. And I'm like, George Mueller, how do I know that name? And then I read the little clip they had about it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I watched. There's a cartoon about George Mueller. It's called The Torchlighters, which is several stories of really awesome things that God did through different people, and George Mueller is one of those that you could find. Type in The Torchlighters on YouTube or something, and you could find that. No sweat. All right. So let's remember that what's the most important thing we learn through all of the end time stuff? We win. That's right. And now, what's important to remember when bad things happen? God can take care of us. All right. God will take care of us one way or another. All right. Okay. Hope y'all have a good night.